So for step 47, making the holes. Well, in the Bronco, there are a lot of holes that have to be put into this because there's all the ones for the roof rack, there's the ones for the body mount pins on the front, there's a bunch of stuff for the front grille, there's tail lights, there's door knobs, etc. It goes on and on and on. Now they're showing you using a pin vise. Well, I didn't do that. The one thing I did do is use the body reamer, and I did do an example of how to use a body reamer, which you can see right here. I did a sort of tips and tricks video of how to use it, but this is a body reamer, and you can see that depending on what size hole you want, you just have to spin this to the desired width. So for 47, that's what you're going to do. And I'm not going to do this on camera because I'll show you why in a second. So 47 is all about making the holes. 48, you need to cut out the body. Now I've done this on others where I've shown people how to cut out the body. Maybe I'll put up the Hornet one that I did for cutting out the body. And that way you kind of have an idea. And again, I won't be doing that. You'll see why in a second. In 49, there's painting the body. And this is kind of why I'm not showing you all the other stuff, because I have not gone box art with this. And in fact, I got a buddy of mine from Bernard Creations to paint the body for me. Because timing, I don't like painting the polycarbonate. I've mentioned this a number of times, but I also wanted to do something that was a little special, and I kind of like this yellow. I think it's gonna look really, really good when it's finished. And of course, he was able to paint all around the edges and the bumpers and everything else. And one of the reasons why I wanted that is because in the kit, there's stickers. And I just don't want stickers for trim that's going to be very important. So all of this has been painted on. And of course, he's given it a bit of a tint. So the windows have a tint look. And then of course, the top's all been painted black as well. So for me, this looks super, super sharp. I'm super happy with how this came out. And that is the reason why you're not seeing me do this, because I passed it on and let him do all of the painting. So, you know, you can see there's so many instructions for how to paint it, where to paint it, etc. So we're going to skip all this because he's already done this for me. But we are going to be working on step 50, which is all of the markings. So this is where all of the stickers are going to come into play, and I am still using all of the stickers for this. I'm intending on making this exactly how it is in the, like, basically I'm making this box art without the main color. So all of these decals are going to go on. And then I've got some special stuff that's going to go on later. So I'm kind of excited to get started on this. So I'm going to pull out the decals and we'll get to work on step 50. So the Bronco is now all decaled up for the most part. And what I mean by that is, if you look at all of these are all the decals for the side windows, all of the trim around the wheel wells, etc. And, you know, as a whole, I don't understand it because I'm not a fan of decals for the most part when it comes to actual car trim, because, you know, decals peel often, and if you don't get them perfect, they kind of look a mess, which is all the more reason why when I was getting this Bronco painted, I had asked for all of the trim around the edges to be painted rather than have to use the decals. And it's a huge improvement. I mean, it looks super sharp without, and I don't have to worry about it. And I mean, here's the back end, and I did put the decal on the back because there's the rear wiper, etc., and it just seemed like it needed it. I've got the Bronco at the back, the Ford symbol, and I've even put on a license plate on the back. which I think looks super cool. And of course you can see on the top there was a black trim that basically gives you a step, and the same thing on this side. And then obviously on this side there was a decal that went over the gas cap, so that's fine. And then there's that side trim on the bottom of the door, which I think looks super sharp. And then of course it says first edition, and that's on either side as well. And then of course on the front there was these little stickers on the lights that had to go on. And then of course we're going to have the big grill that's going to be attached to that. But honestly, as a whole, that is step 50, because there are no more decals that need to go onto the truck itself. Some of the parts go on, or the stickers go on later, where you've got like the light pieces, that's going to go on the roof rack, etc. So all of these, and I mean you can see these are for the mirrors, but all of these are not being used. I don't need to. And again, I was saying that I had him tint out the windows, so I have put the decal on the front. I forgot to show you that, but that's because you can see, well, it's hard to see there, but there's the natural way of how the for your rear view mirror, there's an image sort of on here, and then this said Bronco and the wipers went on top of that, so I've kept that. So I mean, it looks a little darker on the front, and then it's a little lighter on the sides. But overall, I'm super happy with how that's turned out. So we can move on now. So step 50 is complete. So we're going to move on to step 51 and attach the trail sights.